We're going to get started here in just a second. I had to switch from my Wi-Fi to my data. My Wi-Fi is being super slow. If you guys can hear me, just put anything in the chat, thumbs up, something like that. If this is your first time watching a Coin Ring Maker live, hi, I'm Coin Ring Maker from coinringmaker.com. I make coins like this into rings like this. And today we're going to be working on a Morgan silver dollar from 1886. It's going to be a size 11. And we're going to get started here pretty soon. Let's see if we can get to like 100 likes. If y'all can just tap the screen real quick, that helps TikTok know I'm doing a good job. Once we hit 100 likes, I'll get started on this bad boy. Thank you very much. Tap that screen. We've got 2 likes. 98 more to go. We'll take a good look at this coin before we start working on it. So the first thing we're going to do to make this into a ring is punch a hole right in the middle of it. I've got a specialty tool. It's really handy. It's made by jasonsworks.com, and this is going to auto center our coin. So you can see it's kind of cone shaped here. So as we tighten this down, it's going to auto center it, so we get that hole right in the middle, which is really important for making a nice coin ring. So this is it's a pretty large coin. So we're going to be using a 5/8 inch punch on this. Pop our guide in there. And we'll put our coin inside. If anybody has any questions while I work on this, feel free to ask. I do appreciate you stopping by and watching me work. It's been a while since I was able to get on a live. What would it cost to get a ring made if you sent it to me? I am currently working out a smoother process to do custom orders. At this time, I'm not taking them. Just because it's quite a bit more tricky to handle a custom order than one straight through the website. But I do have a very wide range of coin rings available. If you want to tap the link on my profile, I think I can pin it down here too. Y'all can check out the shop while you watch. I got quarters, dimes, half dollars, Morgan dollars, silver rounds, lots of different stuff to pick from. So we're going to hammer on through here. Very nice. This is what I like to call the center punch. And we're going to be making that into a necklace to pair with the ring today. Let's see how our coin looks so far. We got 163 likes. Thank you guys very much for tapping the screen. If you want to see more coin ring making stuff, make sure to hit that follow button. There we go. I was talking for my wife, getting one made, buying a silver ring, so don't mess up my wedding band. See, that's another reason I'm a little hesitant to do custom orders, is sometimes while I'm working on coins, they get messed up. And I'd much rather have like backups, and you can't really replace a customer's coin. So that is another reason I'm not currently taking custom orders. It's just a lot easier to work with what I have on hand, because if something does go wrong, I'm able to replace the coin, and nothing sentimental is really lost for anybody. So I hope that makes sense. Thank you very much, Max. All right, so let's check out our coin so far. If you look on the inside here, you can see it's pretty rough, and it's also pretty sharp. So I'm going to take something, this is called a deburring tool, and this is usually used by plumbers to clean up sharp ends of pipe, but I find it's really useful to clean out the inside of coins. So we're just going to cut away that and make it a nice smooth surface. Yeah, it's so much easier just to take an order through my website, and there's so much to choose from there. I've really tried to have a varied variety of options. I've done a couple custom orders in the past, but they are like, it's like 4 times the work. And if something goes wrong, I feel bad. So at this point, I'm not taking them. See how we're getting that nice and smooth. We'll go ahead and flip that over. Clean up the other side. 420 likes on this live. Thank you guys very much. We want to make sure we get this really nice and clean. Sorry if I missed any comments. Nope. All right, so we got that nice and smoothed out. Are people able to request certain years? Yeah, I have lots of different years to pick from. You can also get specific state quarters. That one is pretty popular. And I've got them in 90% silver and copper clad. But yeah, half dollars, quarters, you can pick the years. Morgan dollars, you can pick the years. I don't have every year, but I do have a pretty decent range. All right, we're going to set this over here. And this next step kind of softens this metal up a bit. It's called annealing. Yeah, the mercury dime is pretty good, but I can only make them so big. I actually have an example of one here that I got a little off center. So it's wider on one side than the other. It was a mistake, but I still finished it because I wanted to see if I could. But yeah, the mercury dimes are pretty cute. I am a little limited on how big I can make them. These are honestly one of the toughest rings to make because they break so easily because it's so thin. I have to be really, really careful with them. All right. I do have a bit of a different setup here last time. Now my jar is a little dirty, but the water is fresh, so don't be all grossed out. It's just an old jar. But we're going to heat this Morgan dollar up and then dip it in the water, and that's going to help soften this metal up so it's easier to fold in shape. Google, what? It was worth anything that you know of a couple you'd like to sell? Coins are kind of tricky to price out, so it really depends on the condition. So I would say this is like circulated, fair condition. These go for a little bit more than melt value, maybe up to like 40 or 50 bucks. If you get one that's in really nice condition, they can be worth much more. There's also like rarer dates or, there's just, if you want to get into selling coins, you need to get something that's called a red book. They produce it every year, and it's got the value of like every coin in different conditions and different years. It's a very helpful resource if you want to sell coins at like getting what they're worth. And it's like 20 bucks. So that's what I would recommend. The red book helps me not destroy coins that are worth like thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. Because I want to know what I'm working on. I don't want to ruin anything that's super rare or valuable. So I've definitely done my research. Yeah, no problem. And again, that's called the red book. They're pretty easy to get a hold of. You can get them at bookstores, Amazon. They got them at Hobby Lobby too. They're all over the place. So there we go. We got our Morgan dollar nice and heated up. Get as close in here as we can for this. This is called a quench. That's nice. We'll dry it off. If you guys haven't followed yet, go ahead and hit that follow button. I know my work area isn't the cleanest, but my results are good. So hang out, and we're going to be making a really nice ring today. See if I missed any comments here. I have a ton of Morgans and old silver nickels. eBay sold is another good. That's a good point, Blue Flame. eBay sold is a great place to see values, but using that resource, you kind of already have to know like what you have and what you're looking for. So you have to know the condition. You have to know how to differentiate conditions. You know, you want to know the year, the type. I think Redbook is better, like generally, to get accustomed to the value of coins. But eBay sold is a good resource because it's free too. Totally. Junk silver. I mean, that's possibly what it could be. Any 90% silver, constitutional silver, is usually considered junk silver unless it's in really nice condition. Let me show this off to you. I used to have my ring stretcher and my 1-ton arbor press on my desk, and I recently moved them over to my workbench. And I've been doing, I don't know, a little artistic coin design on it because I thought it would look cool. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and get into folding this Morgan dollar here. But this is a new setup for me. I'm trying to get better lighting while I'm working. So this is lit pretty well, right? It's not all darkened in the shadows, but I'm going to have to work out the angles on how to get this so y'all can see what I'm doing. So bear with me. I do appreciate your patience. We are not in a rush today. So there we go. We're going to need the doming block. And he wants the head side out. I honestly prefer the Morgan tail side out. It's super symmetrical. There's tons of detail going on here. You've got In God We Trust, Eagle's wings. I think this looks great tail side out, but he wants the year showing. So we're going to do head side out on this one. I asked a lot of people that question before and got banned from their account. Well, hey man, I'm here to help. Like, I may be destroying coins, but I have no problem teaching you about them. If anybody else has any questions, feel free to ask. I'm not going to ban you. Oh. I may work a little slow, but I'm not going to ban you from watching. Especially for asking questions. That's how we learn. And I mean, when it comes to silver, like you want to get what they're worth. I don't blame you there. It can definitely be a little tricky when you first get started. And it doesn't help that the price of silver kind of jumps around a little bit. So now we got a nice little fold on there. Need some nice coins. I started on copper clad quarters. Like, that's the only thing I worked on for the first year, is just regular old quarters until I got the technique down really good. Well, dang, man. I'm glad you're back. Sorry to hear that. TikTok can be a little harsh with their banning. Got that ball stuck on there pretty good. There we go. Yeah, if you have any questions about getting into coin ring making, if you go to coinringmaker.com, that's my website. I've got tutorial videos on YouTube under Coin Ring Maker and a recommended tool list on the website if you're looking for like what tools you need and like how to use them. Where do I source 1/4 ounce gold coins? I bought those a while ago. I try to buy, at least when it comes to like gold or like higher premium silver, like directly from like a well-known distributor, like a trustworthy website that just sells a ton of it. A good example of that. See, I wouldn't buy gold on eBay. I do buy silver on eBay, but the quarter ounce ones, I'm trying to think, what is it called? I don't know. They're you just want to. Do I fish? Not for a while. It's been a quick minute. Like Golden State Mint, I really like them, but they produce their own stuff. They don't usually sell a quarter ounce gold, but that's a good place to get stuff from. It's like, I think it's called Gov Mint. I don't want to give you a bad answer, so I'm trying to think of where I got it. But basically, you just want to shop from somebody you know that's not going to scam you. Like you want someone like a shop, a distributor with a well-known reputation. I'd be careful trying to get too good of a price. Like everybody's going to have premiums, and I'd rather pay a premium than pay closer to spot and get something that's not real. Yeah. Like premiums there's something that took me a while to get used to, but yeah, you're never going to get silver for spot unless you're just buying straight up shot in like large quantities. Yeah, you don't want to buy you don't want to buy precious metals from Wish. That's not that's not the way. Sorry for the dead air. What I'm doing right here is I'm again making this cut edge as smooth as possible. If we get any scratches or dings on here while we try and stretch it, it'll split. Let me show you an example of what that looks like. So here is a minor split. So if we get any kind of split, basically the ring is ruined. Unless I catch it super early. Got another example here. There we go. So here's a nice coin ring until it's split. So we really want to make sure that that cut edge is as smooth as possible. You can see this one's got dings and scratches in it. That's before I started paying attention to it. You can see how nice and smooth this one is because we're taking care of it. If anybody else has any questions, feel free to ask. I'm just running through the motions of making a Morgan silver dollar into a coin ring. Solder the fill. I don't know. I just keep them as reminders of mistakes to try and not repeat. Because, I mean, once it splits, it's pretty sharp. And it's not going to be comfortable or look good. It's not something I want to send to a customer, you know. I want to send them something they can be proud to wear and show off. We're going to go ahead and fold this a bit more. This is a rather large 17-degree cone. I think it should say on here. Yeah, $1 17-degree cone, or die. And we'll get a cone to put on top of it. Do I fish? No. I've never been good at fishing. Last time I went fishing, somebody handed me a fishing pole with a fish on the line. I still couldn't catch it. I like fishing. I'm not good at it. Basically, I like being outside on the water. Like, I like the place. I'm just not good at fishing. go. Slowly folding it more and more. Go ahead and anneal it again. I have to go to Puerto Rico. I don't know if that's true. Oh. Yeah, I don't need any jigs, brah. I have met this guy here on TikTok. He makes this thing called a line leash, and it's brilliant. It's like it goes over your fishing line so it doesn't get all tangled up. So if anybody out there fishes and wants a solution to that problem, check out line leash. It's cool. How long does it take to make one ring? It really depends on the coin I'm working on. So this is a Morgan silver dollar, so it's going to take quite a bit. That could be cool. But like for quarters, which I started making, it's the only thing I made for like the first year, I could probably make one in like 5 minutes. Like if I really, like if I wasn't filming and I just needed to punch through it, make a coin real quick, make a ring real quick, I could probably do it. I prefer to take my time, because you get better results. This right here is a dollar coin. This is a Morgan dollar. I'll show you in a sec. So yeah, this ring is not gonna come along super quickly. It's probably gonna take an hour and a half, maybe 2. Every coin's different. I really try to take my time and not rush. See how fast I can get it done. That's not really the goal. I want to see how nice I can make it. That's the goal for me. And again, I'm just using, this is 4-0 steel wool, super fine steel wool. And we're just rubbing that on that cut edge to make sure it stays nice and smooth. Nothing quite like fresh silver. Unoxidized 90% silver. It's very pretty. Right? Yeah. I don't want to send anything out that somebody wouldn't want to wear. What's the largest size I make? The largest one I've made so far has been a size 18. And that was out of a 1 ounce silver round. It was big, man. It's for this trucker guy. He got 2 of them. They were gigantic. But there are limits on different coins. So like the largest I can make a quarter is like size 12, size 13. Half dollars, I think the largest is 16. And then for Morgans, I think it's somewhere around 16, 18. 13 half dollars are really nice in size 13. I could also do a Morgan silver dollar in a size 13. This one's going to be a size 11. Yeah. How much are they? You can see my prices by going to the link on my profile. There's also a little one I can pin down here. I have about 50 different types of coin rings, so the prices range from about $30 up to a couple hundred. It really depends on the coin you want me to work on. For a half dollar, they're $1.49. Morgan dollars are $1.99. What's best for 7.5 to an 8? I would say probably a 90% silver quarter. I've got them in all 50 states. I've also got them 1940 up to 1964. The reason I say 90% silver is it's going to be the prettiest ring. It's not going to turn your finger green like copper clad might. And it's the details are going to last a lot longer than, say, like a fine silver ring. I think 90% silver makes the best ring, so that's what I recommend. Copper round with a silver spinner in the middle. That would be pretty cool. So I've looked at a couple different techniques to make spinners, and the one I like the most requires a lathe, which would take up quite a bit of space down here in the shop, and I feel like that takes a bit away out of like the handmade element. Like, I try not to use anything I have to plug in while I make my jewelry. And another way I can do it is just kind of like funnel out the outside edges and then have a ring on the inside. I don't think they look very good. There's two different types of metals. There's non-ferrous and there's ferrous metals. So with copper, silver, gold, you can quench them after you anneal, and it's not going to reharden. But if you do that to, say, something like steel, that will harden in water. So you want to air cool steel, both like silver, copper, gold. You can quench them and it's not going to reharden. All right, so we got that folded up pretty good. That's looking really nice. But since this is going to be a size 11, we have to start making it smaller because this is pretty big right now. Check it on the old Size-O-Matic. It's about a 13, a little over 13 and a quarter. So we're going to anneal it again, and then we're going to start reducing this in what's called a Swedish wrap. It's a pretty excellent coin ring making tool. If you guys haven't checked out my website yet, I'll go ahead and pin it down here. You can see all my prices, different coin rings I make. Go check it out. That is how I make a living, so I do appreciate you supporting my small business. Everything's handmade in the United States, out of real coins. It's pretty cool stuff. Go check it out. And if anybody has any questions, again, feel free to ask. I do appreciate you hanging out and watching with me. Word of advice, even though the flame is not coming out of this, it's still hot, so you don't want to touch that. I've done that once or twice. You want to move that out of the way. You always thought it was illegal to do that to coins. Got coin ring maker stock yet? So one example is penny smashing machines. If you've ever seen them at like Six Flags or something like that. Six Flags, Disney World, SeaWorld has them too. You put 50 cents in and a penny and you turn the crank and you get a smash penny with a design on it. Those have existed for a long time, and most people know about them. Basically, as long as you aren't fraudulently altering the currency, that would be manipulating its appearance to make it look rarer or more valuable, trying to deceive someone, it's not illegal. So that's basically what that law is referring to. You can totally make jewelry out of it. And I have been for about 3 years. I've consulted with numerous lawyers about it. I would be careful messing with other countries' currency. This is just U.S. law. So I'm in the United States working on U.S. currency, and I've done my research, and it is legal. So don't you worry. Birth year on a quarter. Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, a bunch of old smash pennies, yeah. Instead of reducing the size, why not start with a smaller center hole? Because I have to, either way, I have to bend this outer edge to the desired size. So if I start with a smaller hole, we're going to get a longer piece of metal, and it's harder to manipulate that to get to a shape that is attractive. So, for example, we've got 2 other Morgan dollars over here. And just getting a more uniform shape with a smaller hole is very tricky. You can see it just develops these kind of bumps, and it's really hard to kind of work that out so that it's a nice, attractive ring without losing a bunch of detail. So by starting with a larger hole, I have less metal to manipulate to get to the shape I want, and it's just easier. Like, we don't end up with these kind of lumpy bumps. So I did used to make them with a smaller hole, but after I made quite a few of them, I found out that you can see this one is actually a little bit thinner, but the shape of it is just so much nicer. Can y'all see the difference between those two? I'm sorry to go so deep into it, but this is an issue I've been dealing with for a while, is I get just kind of an ugly bump, and even if I try and work it out, like, it used to be worse, you start to lose the detail on the lettering, and it just becomes an uglier and uglier ring no matter what I do. So if I cut a larger hole, I get a thinner band. Like, we have less detail, but it's much easier to preserve it on the inside and out. So that's why I start with such a large hole on the Morgan dollars. Yeah. All right. So now we're going to wrap this in some protective tape. Either way, you make them look awesome. Thank you very much. Well, I want them to look as awesome as possible. Thank you very much. I will cut you. I appreciate the compliment. Modifications to dates make money a very... Yeah, don't do that. Thank you for sharing the process. Thank you for watching. In my country, it would be illegal because the law says metaphor. Yeah. So it's different around the world. That is one thing I do want to point out, is this is not like international law. Like, this is within the United States, only working on U.S. currency. And not fraudulently altering it anyway. Like, there's no fraud here. I show you guys step by step how I do what I do. No deception. But yeah, I believe Canada is pretty clear. Like, even with coins that, like, aren't in circulation anymore, they don't want you to alter them in any way. I'm gonna try the thicker tape. So yeah, there's a big difference between altering American currency and fraudulently altering American currency, which is what the statute specifies. This is Blue Monster tape, plumbing tape. I'll give you a closer look at the label here in a second, but this is going to help protect the outside details. Yeah, PTFE. A little stronger than the usual. This is called Blue Monster. It's really tough, and that just basically allows me to wrap it less. Can I make a gold coin ring from 1933? I can, but with gold, I only have one in stock, and I kind of like to get in contact with the buyer and really work out, like, what kind of coin they want, what the ring size is, if that's going to work. Like, there's a bit more details I like to work out with gold coin rings because they're so expensive. Oh, is it legal? Yeah. If it's produced by the United States, yeah. There we go. That's going to fit in there nice and snug. So this is our Swedish wrap. It's a 7 degree die. So it's got a really, I don't know, it just goes down a little bit. So you can see the ending hole, beginning hole. So it makes it a little smaller, but nothing too crazy. Should I hide the Canadian large cent rings? They make beautiful rings. I'm so conflicted about those because they make perfect coin rings, but Canada's very clear. So I don't know. I've removed every other Canadian coin I have. So Canadian maples, any other Canadian coins, like Canadian quarters, I don't work on anymore. It's really hard to let go of the large cents. They are one of my favorites. Size 16, yeah. That's for real, but if I provided it, you see where I'm going? Yeah, I mean, I could do it. I've done gold coin rings before. If you're serious about it, you can email me at info@coinringmaker.com and we can work out the details. That's how I do all my custom coin ring stuff. Well, anything produced by Canada. So Canadian maples are legal currency. Even though they're not like out in circulation being used as currency, it's a lot like an American silver eagle. It says $1 on it. It is legal tender, but it's produced a bit fancier than actual money. Did y'all hear that clip? That scared me. I really like these pushers, but they are a little weak. We're gonna go ahead and soften this up again. I didn't know Canada was so strict, so I thought it was just a currency that was in circulation, but from the research I've done, going a little further, it seems like any coin that was ever produced by Canada, like, you can't work on. Like, you're not supposed to. Yeah, from my understanding. And Canadian law is written kind of weird. But that's the way that I've read it. It goes beyond what's actually in circulation. So if something gets like retired as a coin, which the large cents have been, so like they're not legal tender anymore, they still don't want you making jewelry out of them. So I try to stick with U.S. currency for the most part, or like silver rounds. I think those are super cool. I found that first fold in the doming block with the ball helps every other fold stay like centered. Like it reduces the wobbliness of my coin rings a bunch. Because if you do it in a cone and a die, I have a tendency where the coin starts to drift and fold unevenly. But with the doming block and the ball, it's straight down. Even if the coin is like off center in here, it'll fold evenly because it's curve versus curve. I think it makes a big difference, especially down the line at like fighting wobbliness. Like with like Franklin half dollars have a tendency to go really wobbly, and I found that helps reduce that from the beginning quite well. I would still make jewelry out of coins. I just make sure to make it here. I mean, I don't want to piss off Canada, honestly. Like, it's not a fight I want to have. We got that almost to the bottom. Ain't worth it. Yeah, I mean, there's so many coins that have been produced by the United States. Like, I still haven't made every type of coin I can, and I don't think I will anytime soon. So there's always new stuff for me to try. One thing I do want to point out right here, so I recently made this mistake. How's it going, Bayleaf? I was pushing a quarter through my smallest Swedish wrap die, and it came out of the bottom. And I didn't have a flat part underneath it, right? I had this hole. So it actually shoved the coin into that hole and totally deformed it. Let's see if I've got it here. Yeah. Like this. Oh man, and this was coming out to be such a nice ring too. And the hole in my arbor press just ate this thing up. So, if anybody out there uses Swedish wraps, make sure you have the flat part underneath when you get close to the bottom, because you don't want it to go through and do this. I had to start all over. That sucked. So yeah, there's a little coin remaking tip for you. So now when it gets to the bottom, it'll stop and not get all messed up. There we go. Now we're getting this. It's reducing down very nicely. And you can see how that tape is taking a lot of the pressure from that die and keeping our details on our ring nice and crisp. See how good they still look? I really like Blue Monster tape. It's very good. Would I ever sell some seconds by weight, maybe? I don't know. Selling by weight's really tricky. Hell yeah. Bought some of my stuff and then started making rings as well. That's awesome, man. Have I ever worked with a double or misstamp? No, I don't. I check all my my coins before I work on them. So I have found a couple like errors or rarer coins that I've set aside, and I don't work on anything that's collectible-ish. I try to leave the really nice stuff for the collectors, because the first year I did this, they came for me hard. At first they were upset, and at second, guys like B-Weave just educated me. They were like, well, if he's going to keep doing this, we need to tell him what not to mess up. So I've had quite a coin education here on TikTok, and I've actually found some pretty valuable stuff that I saved. So it's pretty cool, honestly, because most of it I've found just out in circulation. So like, they're just out in the world. Yeah, the coin collectors here on TikTok started out as like, I don't know, it was like a natural enemy. But over time, they became my best customers, and they taught me a whole lot. Coin talk, I mean, I think that's something that TikTok doesn't exactly know exists. Like, unless you know about the coin family or you know about coin talk, like you don't understand. Like, there's a whole community like teaching and sharing about coins. There's tons of valuable information on here. Very nice people. You spend more time checking for collectibles than making rings. Is a worthwhile enterprise. Absolutely. Alright, we'll wrap this up again. Go to a smaller Swedish wrap. This has got a really nice gold tone to it at the moment. It's really pretty. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. If you haven't followed me yet, go ahead and hit that follow button. If you'd like to check out the store, I've pinned the link to it right there. Unless it was advertising, they wouldn't know. Well, the problem is, like, I have a decent amount of people who watch my work. Like, I can't exactly lay low anymore. Like, that time has passed for me. Like, I have somehow gained anonymous fame. Like, it's... So, I prefer to just be careful. You know, I'll play safe. It's looking really very nice. Throw a little more tape on it. And now it's basically the exact same shape as the cone at this point. So it's got a 17-degree angle on it. The cone's 17 degrees, so it's kind of locking in there. There's not a lot of room for it to wiggle. So what I'm going to do is flip it upside down and reduce the wider end, because that will move. There's less points of contact, so there's less resistance. Woo. It's fighting me. You got your ring today. Very nice. Gotta go watch it. All right, man. We'll see you later, Ron. Thanks for stopping by. Coming along really nice. I'm gonna go ahead and anneal it again. It's definitely getting tough. Oh yeah, I think it looks pretty sick. And that monster tape as well. It's pretty cool. Pull out a little bit. There we go. Do. 1,600 likes. Let's go. Y'all tap the screen if you're enjoying the live. Thanks for watching. Yeah, we got 273 people in here. We're just going to continue reducing this till we get down to a size 11. If you haven't yet, go check out the website, coinringmaker.com. There's a link for it right here. You can use the coupon code WELCOME. That'll save you 10% off anything at the store. It's all handmade by me. You'll be supporting a small business. I sure do appreciate you taking a look. Get it nice and tiny. Do 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 do. And we got that nice and stuck in our die. I'm gonna get a piece of wood. Knock it out of there. Anybody who's just joining, we are making a Morgan silver dollar into a ring. If you'd like to check out more of my work, please visit the link I'm going to pin right here. You can use the coupon code WELCOME. That's just the word WELCOME. It'll save you 10% off anything you want to get. Go check that out. I do appreciate you taking a look. Take this tape off of here. This is one of the most annoying parts, is removing this tape. But there we go. That's looking really nice, guys. See if we can get a little closer. Yeah, that looks really good. And we aren't quite to a size 11. So we got like 11 and a quarter. What I want to do is try and get it to about a 10 and a half, because on the inside there is a bit of a lip. Can you see that raised area on the inside there? We're gonna have to cut that away so the ring will be comfortable. So we're gonna reduce this a little more, get it to about a 10 and a half, and then cut that lip off. And we should be about done. Coming along very nicely. And again, thank you guys for watching. If you've enjoyed this live, make sure to tap the screen. We're almost at 2,000 likes. And don't forget to use the coupon code WELCOME at coinringmaker.com. That works forever. So if you're not in the mood to buy a coin ring today, which might be in the future, make sure to remember to use the coupon code WELCOME. It'll save you 10%. Nice. Dry that off real quick. 2,000 likes. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you guys very much. It's been a while since I was able to hop on TikTok Live, so I'm glad y'all were able to catch the live. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. Probably somebody else wondering the same thing you are, so ask away. Takes a bit of elbow grease, not gonna lie. Whew. There we go. Hopefully we got it to that. Hey, we got it to size 10. That's even better. All right. We can start to burn this thing. Now this is the slow boring part. So if y'all want to go check out the website, it is linked right here. And use the coupon code WELCOME to save 10%. We're going to be cleaning up this edge right here for a couple minutes. So you are free to go check out the website while we get this done. Get our burn tools over here. Hopefully we can get this so y'all can see what I'm doing. Got a nice little holder here. It's going to save my fingers a lot of pain. And this is a deburring tool, so it's like a curved blade on this little rotary system, so it'll spin around. Makes it really nice, cleaning up stuff like this. Yeah, I can work on dimes, but I can only make them so big. It's a pretty small coin, so I think the max size is like 7 or 6. Excited about the burring. Okay, all right. Look at all that. How much does it cost? You can go to my website and check it out. Thank you for the TikTok, bro. That's probably just the way the coin design was. Not much I can do about how they made the coin. I can just make it into a ring, you know? But you can always flip your ring around the other way. It's pretty sharp. Thank you very much. If anybody else hasn't checked out the site, go take a look. That is how I make my bread. So I do appreciate you going there and checking it out. Thank you very much. Sounds good to me, man. Yeah, these are pretty sharp. That's no lie. There's a sharp blade right here. When you do this, if you ever do, you want to make sure to go really slow. I've seen some people just, and that's how you get like little cuts and divots. The slower you go, the smoother the cut is going to be. Why do I do that? Just to smooth it out? It's so that the entire ring has a uniform ness on the inside, so it's all the same size. So if I don't get rid of that lip, it's a lot smaller on this end of the ring, and it's kind of uncomfortable. So it makes it more comfortable, and it makes the sizing a little easier. Well, this one right here is actually a different size deburring blade. I use this to come in and clean everything up. It's just got different shape on it, different angle. It's really nice to finish it up, but it's not so great to start with. You can't remove a whole lot with it. This is a Morgan silver dollar from 1886. It makes a really nice uniform edge all the way around it. Looks really good. There's still a little bit of a lip. You can see kind of those dots. You see those little dots? That's what we have to get to. Once we knock the dots off, we're good. So we'll go back to our bigger blade and finish those up. not gonna lie, this does get a little hard on the hands, especially with the Morgan dollars. That lip is so pronounced. Look at all this silver we've cut off of there. Go back and clean up the rest. Oh yeah, that feels really nice. I like to do a feel test because sometimes I miss stuff with my eyes. I can feel it with my fingers. And we'll clean it up with a little bit of steel wool. This is super fine steel wool, so don't go doing this with like regular steel wool. It'll scratch it up. You want super fine, just so you can get that fire scale off it. Where do I get my coins from? Mostly from eBay. Wow, guys, that looks pretty good. Not too shabby. Let's check the size. Should be pretty close. It is just a hair. Quarter size off. We're going to reduce it just a little. Where's my tape? There we go. Try bidding on some eBay, but I feel like it's rigged. A certain price. Well, I mean, there's a pretty clear prices on like what coins are worth. I usually go for, like, I'm usually looking for a specific coin with a specific year for a specific customer. So I will just auto sort buy now and lowest price, and then just find the one in the best condition at the lowest price. But that's just me. I'm looking for different things than the average eBay shopper. But most of the time I'm not doing auctions. I just do buy it now and try and find something that is priced fairly. Alright, just a quarter size. Hopefully that's just a quarter size. I reduced the wrong size. We reduced the cut edge. We need to reduce this side. So we're going to put it back in. Whoops. No, I don't stick coin rings together. I've had a couple of people ask that. It's not something I currently offer. What? Damn it. There we go. If you did auction, you'd spend more time on that than you do actually making rings. What is the metal shaft called that you're using? Oh, that's called a ring mandrel. That's this thing. This is a ring mandrel. This is what you use to measure rings. They're just a little smaller than a size 11. Let's see if I can get the ring stretcher in here. Yeah. So we're just going to stretch this out to an 11 real quick like. This is Blue Shop paper towel just to help protect the inside details of the ring. You shouldn't have to stretch it too much. Do one pull, maybe two pulls. Yeah, it's so close. You can see the tips of the 11 hanging out, but we got to get to that line. Yeah, 1-ton arbor press. It's my workhorse. I love it. That's this gray beast over here. I call it my quiet hammer. The first year I was looking into making coin rings, my wife called it banging and clanging because I was just hitting stuff with hammers all the time. Very noisy. And I got the 1-ton arbor press, and I was able to do so much metal manipulation without making a bunch of noise. So if you're ever looking for a quiet hammer, that's it right there. That's the best I found. Okay, what's on the other one other than the press? This is called a ring stretcher reducer. So this has a reduction plate down here. You can put a ring in and it will, it's very similar to like other dies I use. It just makes them smaller. And then this part up here is the stretcher part. And it's got a spring on top, which is super annoying. Okay, but it's got these things called splines. That's what these metal things are. And when you push up on the lever, a cone on the inside, which is wider at the base than the top, pushes up and pushes the splines out. And that's what stretches the ring. I'm a little embarrassed. I just pulled that spring off of there, though. Never done that. Just these outward, and that stretches the ring. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's way easier than the first few ways I tried to stretch out coin rings. If y'all want to check that out, go to Coin Ring Maker on YouTube. Watch some of my earlier videos. They are embarrassing. I'm using caveman tools, but it's definitely entertaining. Here is our size 11 Morgan silver dollar. Now all we have to do is clean it up. This is my favorite part because it is the hardest to mess up. It basically means I'm finished and I just get to make it pretty. I'm going to start with the superfine steel wool. I'm going to talk a little faster because my phone's about to die. We're going to get through this as quick as we can. If you guys haven't hit that follow button yet and you want to see more coin ring making stuff, please hit the follow button. If you want to, message me and send me pictures, you can find me on Instagram. I'm pretty sure you can send pictures there. That's true. I had to start somewhere. Is Morgan thicker than the modern Morgan silver dollar? I believe the modern, like the latest Morgan dollar they've made is fine silver, whereas the ones that were actual currency are 90% silver. So there's probably going to be a bit of a size difference. I've never got one of the fine silver ones. I'm not sure what the size difference is. But I do know they're made with different metal consistencies. Looks very nice. All right, now we're going to get my favorite polish. This is called Mother's. And we're just going to clean it up. 1 out of 20. Yeah, it's a pretty steep learning curve. Yes, now we make it shiny. So we're just going to get a whole glob of this on a microfiber cloth here. And we're just going to rub it all over our ring. Get the inside, get the outside. Something I really like about this polish is it changes colors. It kind of activates. I don't know how it works, but it works very well. And the more work you do, the darker and grosser it gets, and the cleaner your ring gets. It's, I don't know. Mother's polish right here. It's good stuff. Get the outside nice and good. Now, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. We're almost done here. I do appreciate y'all hanging out and watching. Again, if you haven't hit that follow button yet, don't lose me on TikTok. I will vanish forever. You'll never see me again. So make sure to hit that follow button. It's very important. Yeah, this is the size 11. This polish works so good. It's amazing. $50. If you go to my profile, you can see it's like pinned at the very top. There's a video of me making a 1964 $50 into a ring. I don't know if I have one on hand here. I've got this one. It's a bicentennial copper clad $50. Pretty cool. Yeah. And this one is a 1932 quarter. Do I sell any of the rings? Absolutely. Go to buycoinrings.com if you want to go right to my shop. Go to coinringmaker.com. That's my main website. You can find my store through there as well. You can use the coupon code WELCOME to save 10%. I'll go ahead and pin the store down here too, so y'all go check that out. I do appreciate anybody going to my website and taking a look. Again, you can use the coupon code WELCOME to save 10%. This is how I make my livelihood. This is how I live and feed my children. So if y'all want to get a coin ring, check out the website. I do appreciate you hanging out and watching. Almost got this. Oh my gosh. It's so pretty. I can already tell. Look at that. That's going to make a very nice ring. What do we think? Y'all rate me 1 out of 10. What do we think? 1 out of 10. Let's see it in the comments. What do we think? We got an 11. We got a 10. We got a nice. Another 10. Oh, y'all are too kind. 10, 9. All right. Just waiting for somebody to be like 5. There's always the one. But no, thank you guys very much for watching. This was a very good live. I appreciate you joining me. I am going to have to hop off of here and plug my phone in. How could it get any better? Well, there are some bits of tape in the lettering that I'm going to have to pick out. You see those little bits of blue and the numbers there? I'm going to have to get those out. And then we're going to give it another polish with polishing cloth so it's mirror reflective. And then we're going to pack it up and ship it off. Would it be hard to get a 1958? Nope, I've got those in quarters and $50. They're going to be under 90% silver. The $50 are Franklin $50, and the quarters are Washington quarters. Visit coinringmaker.com. Use the code WELCOME to save 10%. Sometimes once I start polishing, it's hard to stop. You just want to get it so shiny. But I do appreciate y'all stopping by and watching. This came out fantastic. I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. Visit my website. There we go. Y'all just take a screenshot of that right there. Coinringmaker.com. Bam. Go there, buy things, get things, do things, check things out. Y'all have a great day. We'll catch you next time. Peace.